Hello guys, MVG Salem here, and today's video will be an anti-Joker competitive guide. Though just a quick warning, this video is different than what we usually do and will be long. But if you want to get to any key points in this video, you can follow the timestamps in the description below. Now anyway, most footage here will be of me versus Jason, and I'll be explaining the counterplay to Joker in segments. If you want any references for note, you can look at some videos of Leo's Joker at MomoCon or Smash and Splash and use this video as guidance. Thank you very much. One of the #1 things when juggling Joker, definitely you should wait mostly, because when he's in disadvantage and, like, let's say near a platform, he's likely to down B and use Rebel's Guard because you can't grab him at that point. So there's almost no point in him not doing it. It's kind of like the Bayonetta thing in Smash 4, where every time there's a platform, they're likely to witch time on that platform. It's pretty much the same idea. So all you have to do is take your time a little bit more compared to just swinging at him. Because if you swing at him and gets hit during Rebel's Guard, he's not only going to do a little bit of damage to you, but it's going to either A, reset the situation, or B, in his advantage. Even though if you were to wait, or like, let's say, charge an up smash on the platform, which by the way, you can possibly like fully charge it if they hold Rebel's Guard, and that'll do like tons of damage and or kill him depending on his percent. So it's definitely worth just like waiting compared to just being like, let me just swing and hope that he doesn't do this, because that advantage of his when he gets Arson is like, it's totally not worth it. It's better to just wait all the time. When Joker does get Arson and he's off stage, it's easy to just hit the ledge, like directly attack the ledge, instead of just like trying to jump off stage to hit him, because he can just react to you trying to hit him with just up B, which you might as well think of it as like a Marth Invincible up B when you're close to him. Like, there's no point in like trying to challenge that because it's not in your favor. So you might as well wait on stage and wait for him to get close, and then try and like either drop down and attack the ledge, or short hop, attack the ledge, or if you're Peach, you can float and nair the ledge, like things like that. Like, there's many different ways to hit Joker when he's recovering as Arcene. It's easy as long as you know which edgeguard scenario you should do, because not every character's edgeguard scenario is the same. Like with Peach, you have to float in that spot and wait, and then attack, which is pretty easy to do. It's just if you rush it or mess it up, then you're not gonna get anything, and then you have to reset the situation, which isn't too bad. It's just when you do that and mess up really badly, he'll probably get on stage first, and then you don't get anything, and then it's just like, oh, he has all the space and you want to take it back. It's not worth it. Most people will try and rush for that space instead of just wait. And that's another thing. Of course, you don't have to jump off stage to hit Joker when he has Arson. You can just like, a lot of characters can like down tilt the ledge, or like forward smash the ledge if their forward smash hits below, or well, it looks like it would hit below on any other character but doesn't work as a 2-frame. It would probably work as a 2-frame on Arson, because for whatever reason, Arson gets touched by like everything on the ledge. So like a Marth forward smash or something might actually hit him for like free compared to like any other character, which is pretty funny. So there's that. Now normal Joker, let's see, his up B, or I guess zipline, he kinda has to go slightly below the ledge. Like no matter what, if he pulls in, he goes slightly below the ledge, which is another one of those spots you could just wait at and attack, or you can just like down air it. If he's further away, he definitely will have to like wait slightly, because like you could easily just hit the spot that he's gonna pull to if he rushes it. So he has to arc downwards and just not press anything, which then you could probably just fall down and hit him, compared to just letting him do autopilot do it. It's pretty awkward to get used to, because it's like, okay, tether recovery, he up Bs, he's either gonna rush it or he's gonna wait. As long as you just like wait slightly, you can cover the option of him rushing his zip line, and you can also cover the option of him waiting. Because even if you don't hit him, as long as you do like a slightly delayed like sex kick, for example, then you can kind of catch him. Or if you keep like covering that one option of where he rushes the zip line, there's also that, because then he's just gonna wait most of the time. That also makes it easier to like catch him when he waits with zip line. But most people, they're just like, I don't know what to do. I need like Palutena in there or something to understand how to hit zip line. Like, you don't you don't need all of that to actually punish those types of things. Even when Joker's not touching the platform yet, he's very likely to down B. Think of it as a Bayonetta type thing from Smash 4, where it's like, oh, the platform's below me, or I'm about to land on the platform. Just anything platform related, they're near it, they're going to down B. They're going to Rebel's Guard. Like, just take your time and wait. And you can also apply this for when you're like in advantage versus Joker. Like, when you do hit him once and he's near the sides, you can just wait. During this time, he's likely to use Rebel's Guard, because it's just like, if your combo's not true, it's just like, he might as well just do it, because he probably would get hit anyway otherwise. If not, he's just going to take note that you're going to respect that, and then he'll probably like double jump or something, because most Jokers just jump anyway. So it's like, it's very easy to spot what he wants to do, because it's like, it's either option A or option B. Consistently cover one option to discourage them from doing one, and then you can easily cover the next option. Like, you can literally save it to end the stock. When Joker's off stage with Arson, usually every Joker does side Bs at the ledge with Aegon, so you might as well just like hold shield. Like, most of the time, at least about 75% of the time, you might as well hold shield, because they're definitely gonna throw it there. And even if you jump over it, there will be an explosion under you, so you would still have to get away from that spot. So the best option there is to just run up, hold shield, or like run off stage and fall under it quickly, because it has to fly at you at like an odd angle in the first place to even get to hit the ledge. From there, you probably could just like I said, just run off stage, fall down, and do an aerial and hit him, and possibly kill him, considering how light he is. So there's many options for when he does that. And even then, when he does that, every single time, he has to go below the ledge and recover with his very slow up B. And even then, you can hit the ledge and two-frame him. If that doesn't work, you can ledge trap him. Like, you get all these options. It's very easy to like keep control of the match once he's off stage. It's just, if you don't take note of that, you're going to actually like be fighting him a lot in neutral. But this part is right now, it's not about just dealing with him in neutral. This is about dealing with him in disadvantage, which isn't too hard to deal with. You just have to take note of his options off stage for the most part. Taking a lot of note of his options off stage is like, it's how you're going to be beating Joker a lot of the time, because he's somewhat similar to Cloud. Another thing when it comes to Joker and when he has Arsene is that he's going to be back airing a whole lot, and people tend to forget that rising aerials kind of suck. So one thing to take a big note of is don't do rising aerials when he has Arsene, because you'll probably die for it. Because let's say he does back air on your shield and you want to try and rising aerial out of shield him. Well, his back air already has no lag, and probably don't know how to react to the shield stun, so you probably shouldn't even mess with that in the first place. So if you were to try and out of shield it afterwards and he holds shield, then you lose that situation completely and just get punished. And even if not, if you were to jump out, he could just do another back air and just hit you. So the best option still is to just wait for his Joker, because that's his advantage point. Like, they're just let him do it. Like if you don't let him do it, you're just gonna get bodied like most of the time. Like you might as well just like roll away or spot dodge. Like any of those options. Don't attack out of shield or jump away. Like even maybe like doing a quick short hop, air dodge away is even better instead of like trying to just jump out. It's just the one option you definitely shouldn't do is like back like an aerial out of shield. That is not worth it when he has arson. Like you'll definitely just die for doing that, especially at high percents, which is like a very obvious bait to see. When normal Joker has advantage, you should probably not hold towards him, since anything held towards him gives him that much more range, and he's already fast as is. So you should usually keep a small distance and try and make him approach you, compared to trying to approach him, because he literally doesn't have range and he doesn't even do that much damage anyway. So camping a character like that is most effective. But if you were to hold in towards him for some reason, you will get up B'd over and over and over again, or up air juggled. Like it's better to just reset versus a character like that, because like he doesn't do enough damage to like actually like get a huge lead unless you keep purposely flying into him every single time, which is like what most people do in Smash Ultimate, thinking that's how you play this game. But they'll learn the hard way. They'll have to learn the hard way. But generally, you should be going towards the sides or resetting towards the ledge. Like you can't really just like go towards Joker once he hits you. You have to just hold back and reset. Like it's not hard to like get out of the situation either. You just move away from him. Every time you get hit by anything he does, move away from him, and then like go in a neutral position, which is like your own, and nothing forward, just like stop space or you move back. That's your only options. Like you fall down in your space and just stop there. You don't move forward or anything. You just stop there. Because if you do anything else, he's just gonna be like, okay, well, I can just hit you for this because I'm fast enough and I have a dagger. So I kind of have a sword, but not really. But it's just enough to hit you for thinking you can do whatever you want. Like you will get punished for trying to do the current ultimate meta playstyle, which really sucks for the Joker. Like it's just not worth trying to do that first him. Another thing to note: when Joker nears your shield, he can only do that once before it's no longer safe, because there is move scaling even on the shields. That's a very important thing to take note of. So if he nears your shield the first time, he's likely to spot dodge or something, so you might as well just stay defensive instead of autopilot, try and grab it, because that never worked in the first place versus anything in this game unless you pay hard attention to move scaling. If you don't pay attention to move scaling, then just don't bother trying to grab anything. Like it's basically a waste of time if you don't take note of those things, because it'll happen like at least about 50% of the time. But if you give momentum to the other player when they're playing like Joker, it's just like you easily can just explode and just be like, why am I in disadvantage? I keep getting hit. And then you start getting annoyed and you start holding in, and then you just die. Like that's usually what happens. So it's best to just like take note of small things like that, because like if you don't, like I said, he just nair spot dodge, which isn't very good. And he can also do this with other things like back air, but it's less likely to happen with back air. Back air's -5. That means if you shield back air once, you can shield grab it. Of course, he could space that move, but it's kind of hard to space that move since it's a dagger still. And when Joker lands on the ground, he kind of like lays down. So you can kind of grab his arm still, even with that. When Joker's in an advantage and you're like off stage, for example, he's definitely gonna be throwing like side Bs and stuff at you, since edge guarding with Joker is like, it's kind of different compared to other characters where you just jump off and swing. But since Joker doesn't have a lot of moves that kill until like he has arson, it gets awkward. Like, the best thing you can do is try and gimp them most. So at that point, all you have to do is, like, let's say you can hit his projectile, his side B projectile. It's not a projectile that's just like a laser or has transcendent priority. Like, it won't just straight up hit you for free. You can actually just hit the projectile, but most people don't. And that, at times, that's better than air dodging, because if you air dodge, then he can just frame trap you or shoot you with guns, and it gets really annoying from there. You might even straight up die. Another thing to note, when you're off stage versus Joker and he starts shooting guns, don't use your double jump. It's important to take note you can also DI the bullets a little bit so you can have a better position. But most people kind of panic and just mash double jump or like don't DI the bullets, and then they just get sent wherever, and they're just like, this is the worst position to be in possible, and I'm probably just going to straight up die. Like, you can easily just get blown up by that move if you don't know what it does. I'm telling you now that a lot of this stuff is actually pretty gimmicky. Again, juggled by Joker, just go to the sides or something. Like, usually if you don't go to the sides, as said before, you're going to die. Especially if he has arson. If he has arson and you get an up air juggled, just leave. Just go far away. As far away as possible from him. Because even though he can get to you before you can land, if you were to keep trying to fall down and land on him, you're going to get juggled. And then one of those uppers will kill you at early percents. And you're just going to be like, oh, I died. And then you'll be like, yeah, I probably should have just went to the side. I would have lived. Like, a lot of the top players definitely try and fight towards the center versus any character, but versus Joker, you can't do that. His up air is like, it's like Sheik's up air, except I guess it's possibly maybe disjointed or more disjointed, so there's no like challenging it or poking him near the sides unless you get really lucky. So please just go towards the sides. Just recover like a normal person and respect that Joker can just keep juggling you and up airing you. If you don't respect that, you will just lose, and your habits will be continuously abused until you learn. That's just how Joker is. He abuses your habits very easily. He can abuse his own gimmicks very easily, but if you know these basic things, you literally can beat him easily. The character is actually very much not hard to fight, but people don't take note of those things. Joker, when he's like attacking at you, he kind of attacks similar to Zero Suit, where he short hop and then takes a second to hit you. You will not often see like an instant aerial coming from Joker. It's usually delayed, so there's your timer to parry him. But most people are just like, I don't know what to do about this. I'm just gonna let him swing, even though you can hit him first when he jumps, or you can just parry, or you can take note of move staling on shield. Like, you have many options for this. You got like just about 3 options, possibly 4, even more maybe. Like, there's tons of options for those types of things, but most people are just like, I'll just fight and not think about it. Okay, even though if you do that, you probably will lose because that small thing. When you're above Joker, there's actually a blind spot for his up B, which is like directly above him. So the trick is to either not move when you're above him and just like air dodge, or like if you take a guess that he's going to up air, you can just air dodge but not move. That way you cover the up air hitting you, and if not that, you can just not move at all. If you take a guess that he's going to zip line you and drag you down, and if he misses that zip line while he's on the ground, it has like quite a bit of lag. Like, you can actually hit him if he actually misses that and you're like landing on top of him like that, specifically just like that. Of course, you could just drift away, which is the optimal thing to do, because there's a chance, of course, you can get hit by up air. Besides that, if you're like sideways, just don't use your double jump and just DI away. Now, if he were to do the air version of his zip line, you are perfectly fine and should not die like at all. The move, it doesn't do anything. It's a disrupting move. It just swats you away if he's in midair and he does zip line. In other words, it's not dangerous. It doesn't even kill to like 170 or 150, depending on if you're light or like midweight. Like, there's pretty much nothing for you to worry about unless you double jump up there and get hit. Like, there's not really something dangerous. In other words, you could probably just keep your double jump and not worry too much, and it'll be fine. when getting grabbed by Joker at low percents, it's always best to obviously DI away, but also to, SDI his forward air, for example. Because some characters may like fall out of it or be in a more or better position so they don't have to tech. Because most people just get hit by it and then they have to tech and then they get re-grabbed or something silly because they didn't DI properly. Like you can DI away or at least DI up and away. Like those are the best options, unless like you need to fly closer to the ground as fast as possible, or like get sent at a specific angle when you get like thrown off stage or something. Like if it's that, like if you're near the ledge, then yeah, sure, you can just like DI down. But usually you want to DI up and away or just away. Same for up throw. Though up throw, usually you're just gonna get hit for free because that's just what happens. But generally, you should reset afterwards. And if you hold in, you're going to probably get bodied for holding in again for like most things. Because like he already has the perfect space to like poke you with anything, shoot guns, throw a side B at you. Like every single time he hits you, he gets a reset that's just perfect for him to hit you with like something like side B or anything. So it's just like, it's important to take note that you get hit, just reset again. Because like he can't really, like even if he versus you down and hits you again, he overcommits and it's easy to tell how to punish it, but most people just autopilot, so they just die or just get hit a billion times and get 0 to death by normal Jokers somehow. Don't know how you do that, but that happens, I guess. Now we're moving on to Joker in neutral, which is another important part when you're not getting hit, when nothing's happening, and both people are just like dashing around. So it's like, if you think about the risk-reward ratio for him having to grab you, or him having to overextend with a dash attack, or move staling, you body him extremely easily. Like, even if he has Arsene and does like back air, landing back air on your shield and then short hop back air immediately and hits your shield twice, as long as you shield it correctly, those 2 times, your shield won't break unless he like tries to mix up. But like if he mixes up and then tries like back air forward smash, for example, you have time to react to that. And then you can punish him for doing that. Like, there's a lot of risk in all the things he has to do. Like, he can't just touch you for free or punish you for free or anything. But no one notes that, how much he has to, like, overcommit. They just like, oh, this is broken. Oh, he did this. Oh, he did that. Like, the only thing he can really do is space back air and barely space nair. But spacing nair, like I said, is hard to do. Like, space and back air is a little less hard to do, but even then, the way most Jokers use back air, it's so punishable because it's just like, oh, they're going to landing back air and then spot dodge, or they're going to just do a rising back air on your shield. And if they rising back air, you can punish that. It's pretty silly when you think about it in comparison to like characters from previous games like Cloud. If Cloud were to do that, it's scary because he can just, once he hits me enough times and gets limit, he stays in an advantage for a while until you make him use his limit by throwing him off stage or something. But like Joker, you could just be like, okay, there's a neutral. Once I win the neutral exchange just once, I can throw him off stage and then just keep him near the sides and then just bait his guns and then punish him for using guns. Because he doesn't have range. If he tries to fight me with his no range, then you just outspace him. Like, especially if he's like on the ledge and he tries to like drop down anything. Like that drop down anything with Joker sucks a lot. Like ledge jump to something is so much better because like it's ambiguous and it's more about punishing Joker on his landing and watching out for back air, of course. Joker's gonna back air. Like if he's above you, he's either gonna guns or he's gonna try and do a landing back air. You know what to watch out for, definitely. Because like, what else he's gonna try and hit you with? Like reverse snare? That's not really gonna hit. It's literally gonna be like reverse snare or back air or guns down. Like, but you'll never see a Joker really nair like that. They're just gonna just be like, okay, I'm gonna fall down, landing back air. You can parry that. Like they can't. Like, it's also hard for Joker to, like, always do like a perfectly just about to land aerial. His aerials, they're fast, but they don't come out so fast where you can do it at like the very last pixel of a second. You can actually miss the aerial trying that, and at that point, oh, guess what? No hitbox comes out, and you can get hit for doing that. Like, it's pretty funny. If you were to, like, let's say, if he were to empty hop at you, you could do an aerial or up B out of shield just before he touches the ground, just like slightly before, like as soon as he's as close as possible to the ground, then you could just do something out of shield, and you could possibly hit him just before he touches the ground. Like, there's so many mix-ups that are not in his favor whenever he like jumps like that, and it's silly. Again, people don't pay attention to that. They're just like, oh, Joker did this thing, it's unpunishable. Oh, Joker did this thing, I'm in disadvantage, and I keep getting hit because I'm holding in. I'm still holding it in. Oh, I'm on the ledge. I'm gonna like try and normal get up and get forward smashed, or like all these things that don't work if you just use a little bit of common sense. Or the other one, oh, he's throwing out back air a million times, and I want to ledge jump. I'm gonna normal get up and die because he literally did a rising back air and then did a landing back air. You know what that means? You literally could have just did the ledge jump anyway because he landed on the ground. Because the angle he does that at, it arcs upwards, which means you can actually jump over it before it arcs up to hit you. As long as you time your ledge jump right anyway. Not to mention, besides that, you could also just get up attack those types of things because they're probably not even spacing the back air. They're just probably just swinging. And like I said, when Joker lands on the ground with a back air, he kind of sticks his arm out on the ground, so you can also hit that with a get up attack. Like, he's not as threatening as you think, especially during ledge traps, unless the Joker were to use guns. But Jokers don't use guns like that, so nothing to worry about there. There's also the classic, the Mew2king technique, where Joker is at the ledge, he normal gets up. He down tilts. But most people love mashing buttons instead of waiting, because waiting in most moments is how you beat Joker, even if it's just like a second, or like a second and a half. As long as you wait a little bit, you don't get hit for no reason for your autopilot. You can literally still autopilot as long as you make sure to take some time. But most people won't take their time. So that's why they lose to Joker. That's why they're just like, this is broken and that is broken, and without thinking about it. Even though dealing with Joker is about playing actually optimally and playing ultimate and not, mash the Smash Bros game. As long as you note all those important things, you won't get blown up and you won't get as frustrated about Joker. Like, let's say you're fighting Leo. If you do everything right, it should at least go to last hit, or you'll probably be around 50%, but you'll win the match, for example. But most people will, again, like I said, just try and hold towards him and keep getting hit and keep getting hit, and then eventually they die. I got down throwed at 180 because I messed up in the beginning and didn't want to pay attention to all these errors and bad habits of mine. And in Neutral versus Arsene, it's very obvious and simple to deal with. Because most of the time, if you try and like super camp Joker when he has Arsene, he's going to side B at you. So a lot of the time you should dash dance and shield more often instead of trying to approach. Because if you're trying to autopilot it, you're just going to keep getting hit by side B. And if you get hit by side B once, you're probably going to get hit by it again because you were being greedy. So you should probably just like dash dance or like dash and jump around. The distance usually is the distance to hit the ground. Like the distance when fighting Joker with Arsene and Neutral is usually the distance where Aegon needs to hit the ground, which is just like, that kind of sucks. It means you kind of probably could just like, if you wanted it to be really petty about the matchup, you could just move all the way to the other end of the stage so that it can't even touch you like at all, just straight up at all. But again, most people want to sit there in neutral and just be like, I'm gonna dash dance and not even think about holding shield because I don't think he can hit me. And then they get side beat in the face for getting that Aegon moves at the speed of Wolf Blaster laser, and they get hit in the face and they take instant 20 damage every time. And then they're in the air and then they get probably back aired or up aired. And they're just like, what do I do? Instead of holding away and just going to the ledge, or slash holding away, hitting Aegon, and then just feeling like, okay, let me grab the ledge and then take my time, because Arsene has to eventually go away, and wasting as much time as possible is key to like dealing with Joker effectively. You can do that. You can camp and wait near the ledge and then try and like throw him first, because most of the time they're gonna still be trying to grab you no matter what. That's another thing. If they're really about doing an aerial on your shield, then oh, that's good, because it means all you have to do is shield it and then wait. Instead of if he dashes at me and tries to grab, it's like, it's more random. You probably should just jump away or something. Like something extremely defensive. Usually fighting Joker's just like, oh, be extremely defensive, especially when he has Arsene. Like you're looking for only the moves that are most easy to punish. Like, let's say rising back air, for example, or dash attack. Like, no matter what, they're going to do with Arsene, they would do back air, dash attack, or a grab. If they were to do an empty hop, you could literally just, like, roll away. Or if they were to just short hop or anything, you could just roll away first before they can even touch your shield. Because that is another important factor when fighting Joker in neutral, is that if he hits your shield, especially too many times, eventually you'll be like, I can get shield poked. Oh no. When a lot of the time you could just roll away or spot dodge something really quickly to not get put in that situation in the first place. But most people just hold shield too long instead of just be like, okay, let me run away. Let me run away and roll and spot dodge and jump away. Or even then, you could still parry, which is more scary versus Arsene Joker, since sometimes you have to double parry his aerials because they hit twice now because Arsene. But of course, you could also wait, or you could just like parry and roll away, or parry and spot dodge, or parry and re-shield. That's another thing people don't do, parry and re-shield. There's options. That's the most important thing to take note of. Like, there's enough options where you can make it not in Joker's favor. Now time for my general thoughts on Joker. Personally, let's see. Joker's like I said before, high tier, middle of high tier at best. Can be better. It's just his weaknesses are literally right there currently. At least if you study the game and pay attention, not autopilot. Whatever people are doing now, that ain't it. I literally pointed out pretty much at least 90% of Joker's weaknesses and advantages and everything you can do to not get blown up by that character is pretty easy to deal with. And even then, there's also stuff Jokers currently aren't doing, and things Leo isn't even doing with Joker. Okay, how good is he really, even with all that? And I still say he's high tier, middle of high tier at best still. That says a lot. Like, he is not best in the game. Whoever says that obviously hasn't looked at anything. Like, it was obvious to tell Bayonetta in Smash 4 was the best in the game just from that trailer, because all her weaknesses were easily thrown away just by her blowing you up and killing you for free, or resetting to the ledge, or using rage, or witch time. Like, and she had range, by the way. She had disjoints. She had all that stuff. She could camp you with projectiles, even though people didn't do that yet till later. She's actually like, she was actually just straight broke. I knew that immediately and was like, wow, the character I always wanted, and she's broken? That's surprising. I got absolutely everything I ever wanted. Perfect. Now this game, I looked at Joker's trailer and like, come on. Like, if you actually look at it, it's not even as strong or anywhere near as strong. And the weaknesses are more clear and obvious. It's just no one wants to deal with it. They're just too busy trying to rush and be the best in the world, like right now, and be like, wow, this character is just broken. I just want it nerfed. Like, even if this character were to get nerfed, he'd still be the same character. You know that, right? Like, let's say they do nerf Arsene. What would happen is they would buff normal Joker, and normal Joker's the actual important part. Arsene is like It's literally a glass cannon that you can abuse on purpose. Like, let's say Joker is around 50 and he didn't die yet to get the extra bonus from dying where you get like a little bit of extra meter. He's at 50. First stock, you camp near the ledge and force him to approach. You spot dodge a grab and you throw him off stage. That does 10 damage, and now he gets arson. Oh look, he's already off stage with arson. Now all you have to do is 2-frame him and kill him. Let's say if I were playing Snake also, if I throw him off stage like that, shield his side B, and then charge forward smash at the ledge, he's dead. That's the entire scenario. There's nothing he can do about that. Like, if he throws that side B and goes below the ledge, he is dead. Guaranteed. He's 100% dead. Unless I mess up. I guess at that point you could call it like 90% chance. But otherwise, he's going to just straight up die, and that's the end of it for arson. Just like that. It can actually be that pathetic. That's why I'm just like, oh, that character's weakness is pretty ugly. When you get arson, you have to make sure that you're in advantage, or at least in neutral, but they can literally waste all your time, and then you go back to normal Joker, who has absolutely nothing to actually kill. You would literally have to gimmick them to death just to get a kill. And even then, it's just like, oh, if they keep shielding and dodging all this stuff and baiting me to overextend, I'll die. And there's also stages you could apply to this type of stuff and then just be like, oh yeah, if I go to this stage, he has to jump more, which means that's less grabs, which means all I have to do is focus more on like anti-airs and baiting him jumping, and then I can just focus on things like parries and stuff like that. Like, there's so many ways to do it. It's pretty sad. Like, people would rather just complain, just be like, oh, that's broken, what to do, and just like, people need to definitely stop with that routine of being like, that's broken, instead of paying attention to what to do versus a character. Because that's what they did with Smash 4 Cloud, even though like I pretty much made everyone stop playing Cloud versus me. Like, literally I literally made absolutely everyone stop playing Cloud versus me, which says a lot. So I definitely know what I'm talking about with this character, because like it's almost the same idea, the same concept. It's just different. Has a dagger, has temporary limit, like loses temporary limit from getting hit, so really can't afford to get hit at all. Has dumb disadvantage, where it's like you can die for being in disadvantage once, or being set up into disadvantage at a certain time. Like, there's so many ways to just like actually make Joker just like not very good, but people will complain. But yeah, as I said, high tier, mid at best, middle of high at best, and that's generally all there is currently. Of course, I would mention that Joker can do a lot more than what Leo is doing, but I'll wait and see what people do later, or what people will complain about. So that's that. If you like this video, please hit subscribe and hit the bell. Thank you very much.